Good morning, traders. We're going to go over yesterday's Treasury trade. This was early in the morning. It was around 7-ish a.m., something like that, Central Time. This is from February 3rd. It was a live trade on Sim Money. So it took place during real time, but no, it was not real money. And so what we've got here over to the left, what you're looking at with these highlighted bars, this is Bookmap. Bookmap showing you kind of a heat map version of the dome, so you can get a nice visual representation of what's going on in the order book. And this over here, of course, is NinjaTrader. We got ZB at the top, ZN in the middle, ZF at the bottom. The ZN has order profile on it. All three of them have a VWAP with deviation lines. And so my premise was we had been down all morning long and mostly underneath that first deviation line. And then price had kind of come up above it and then moved back below it. And I thought that we could get from that deviation line down to the next one was kind of my target. It's a bit arbitrary, but you need targets. But if you look at the ZN right here, in Bookmap, you can see that there's definitely resistance in the order book, and what that is that's the low of the day. I was kind of banking on that we could crack through the overnight low, and I was right, but not at the right time. I got in too early, and that Bookmap actually kind of showed me that. And then I made another mistake in that I didn't get out when I knew I was wrong. So ZN's definitely showing some resistance. That's where that orange highlight is below those bubbles. Those bubbles are the orders that are actually executing in the book, and the highlights are orders that are waiting in the book. And kind of the more bright they are, like the more orange and yellow they are, the more people it's representing as being in the book, or the more orders. So we take a look at the ZF. It's not showing us much. But the ZB, it's faint, but you can see that there's definitely more of that kind of highlighted blue below the orders. There's not much up above it for resistance. And then that buy order comes in, and that's when I knew I moved price up with that one buy order. I knew that I'd pretty much got on the wrong side. Could have got out with 2 ticks. Every tick in the ZB is $30, so it's important to manage risk very closely. And you know, I'm still holding out hope that I was going to be right, even though all signs right now point to me being wrong. So we're speeding up the clip now. We're going to go at like 3 times speed. Later we're going to be at like 4 and 5 times speed. But as you can see in the ZN, nothing's weakening up here, and that resistance holding at the bottom. The ZB's got absolutely no resistance to the top side, and then the ZN even pulls in more buy orders there. So price is going up, stops me out, but I was not deterred. So I still had my theory that we needed to go down, and so what I'm doing at this point is I'm looking for any signs of weakening so I can take advantage of a short. No signs yet. And then this is the first thing I noticed. So in the ZF, if you can see, those little blue dots keep coming in on that price. So that area of the order book, as those buyers keep hitting that price, that 119.31, more sellers actually come into that. So there's sellers piling into the face of buying. So that was my first sign of resistance. So the ZF has given me a clue saying, hey, maybe these buyers are done and the sellers are ready to go. ZB's nothing. ZN has got a little bit of resistance, at least to the top side now. There's still more at that bottom, that low of the day. But remember, my theory is that we can crack through that we're going to have enough momentum to get through it. And then ZF shows a sell, a big sell right through there. Moved price. I thought, now's my chance. So I take a sell in the ZB again. And now I'm just managing risk, making sure I don't lose more than 4 ticks again, and then making sure that I get out with at least a 6 tick first target to make up for the 4 ticks I lost previously. I'm hoping for a big victory after that it'll just run after we crack those lows. And you don't end up seeing it at the end, but that does crack those lows and go on a great run, but I end up getting out a little too early. I get out with, spoiler alert, I get out with 6 ticks on both targets. So, you know, we were down 8, we end up getting 12 to wipe that out, so we end up plus 4. Price ended up going down quite a bit after that. So my theory was right. I just didn't hang on long enough. So the Z in here, you see that starting to move. The ZF's looking good. It's looking like orders are piling in. I know it's kind of hard to keep up. I'm moving back and forth pretty quickly here on this. This is 5 times speed now. And so I'll just kind of kick back here and let you watch this a little bit. See a nice order come in. Nice order come in on the ZF there. It's pushing down hard now. But on the ZN, we've still got that resistance that we need to push through. And ZF is still looking good with those big sell orders. ZN's starting to hit some sell orders now into that resistance, and so that's good news. Now the ZN's really starting to look weak. You got sell orders piling in. You can get that little buy order, but that's not too much to worry about. And now we just need an order to push through that. ZB still looks good. And there we go. So we got our 6 ticks. We end up getting down to 9. And then, so I moved my stop to protect myself from it coming back, to make sure that I'm going to get these, basically make up for what I lost earlier in the day. So then I end up moving it down. Once we get down to 9 ticks on the ZB, I move the stop down to the 6 tick zone, and then it comes back and stops me out before it makes its march down. So I probably could end up pulling something like 15 ticks or something out of this trade. But as it was, I just got 6 ticks on both targets. So we'll just let this trade play out here to the very end. We're almost done. We got another minute here. Yeah, I just moved my stop down to the 6-tick zone. And I'm just hoping that, price will just crack and drop. But it didn't help me out. Little pullback, stopped me out. And then it started moving. Thanks, guys.